Welcome student, myself S.C. Kunde from Gokhale Education Society's JDC Bitco English Medium High School, Nasik Road. Previously we have completed lesson Work and Energy. Now our next lesson is Current Electricity. Now in this lesson we are going to study potential and potential difference, conductor, insulators, electrical resistance and Ohm's law. Electricity is of most importance in the modern world. We depend on it for almost everything in our day-to-day life. In order to avoid the inconvenience faced due to failure of power supply, hospitals, banks, offices and private institutions make alternative arrangement with the help of generators. Electricity is used for running electric furnaces, electric motors and several other instruments used in industries. Domestic appliances like fridge, electric oven, mixer, fan, washing machines, vacuum cleaner, all these devices cannot be run without electricity. The lightning that strikes the earth is an excellent example of natural flow of electricity. Now, for the generation of electricity, water is released from a dam at higher level, and because of gravity it falls to a lower level. Thus, as we know, the direction of flow of water between 2 points depends on the level of the 2 points. Next topic is potential and potential difference. Observe this diagram. Two beakers are given here and two beakers are filled with water. The same water level is there and the two beakers are joined with rubber tube. Now, will water flow from one beaker to another beaker? No, water will not move from one beaker to another beaker because the water level is also same and the both beakers are placed at the same height. That's why water will not move from one beaker to another beaker. Now, see in this another diagram. If you want to flow water from second beaker to first beaker, that time what we have to do? Suppose we are increasing the height of second beaker. That time what will happen? Due to the height difference, the water will move from second beaker to first beaker. This is because of the height difference. As we know that the direction of flow of water between 2 points depends on the level of the 2 points. Now see, another example is given in your textbook. That is the level of water and direction of flow of water. The equipments are given: 2 plastic bottles, rubber tube, clamp, water, and the procedure is given. Set up the experiment as shown in the figure. Then remove the clamp from the rubber tube. Note your observations and answer the following questions. First question is that what happens when the clamp is removed? Now simply see here, when we remove the clamp, that time what will happen? The water will flow from higher level to lower level because one bottle is placed at the higher level and another is placed at the lower level. That's why the water is flow from higher level to lower level. Second question is that does the water stop flowing and why? Yes, at one point the water stops flowing because what will happen? That time both the bottle containing water that is at the same level or they exerted equal pressure. That time the water stops flowing. Third question is that what will you do to keep the water flowing for a longer duration? Now for this, just we have to loose or open the clamp slowly. That time the water flowing for a longer duration. A positive charge flow from a point of higher potential to a point of lower potential. We have seen earlier that electricity flows due to the conduction of negatively charged electrons. But you keep in mind this difference. Electron flow from the point of lower potential to higher potential. A lightning strike is the flow of electron from point of lower potential, that is from negative on the cloud to the higher potential on the earth, that is 0. Now see in this diagram, conductor A is at higher potential and B is at lower electric potential. These both A and B, they are connected with each other by a conducting wire. A potential difference is created between the two ends and the electron will flow from B to A, that is from negative to positive terminal, through the conducting wire. This flow will continue until the two conductors A and B have the same potential, that is until their potential difference becomes 0. Only then will the flow of electrons stop. The difference between the values of potential at 2 points, that is A and B, is called potential difference between them. Potential difference of a cell. The difference in potential between the positive and negative terminals of a cell is the potential difference of that cell. All of you know that cell has both negative and positive terminal. This potential difference is caused by chemical reactions occurring inside the cell. The potential difference sets the electron in motion and result in the flow of electricity through a conducting wire, which is connected to the two ends of the cell. The electric potential difference means the amount of work done to carry a unit positive charge from point A to point B is called the electric potential difference between the 2 points. Potential difference between 2 points is equals to work divided by total charge transfer. Now the V is equals to potential difference and work done is denoted by W and the charge is denoted by Q. Therefore, V is equals to W divided by Q. Potential difference measures in volt, work done is measures in joule and the charge is measures in coulomb. Therefore, 1 V is equals to 1 joule divided by 1 coulomb. And the unit of potential difference in SI system is volt. The Italian scientist Alessandro Volta constructed the first electric cell. The unit of potential difference is named volt in his honor. Every atom of a metallic conductor has one or more outermost electron which are very weakly bound to the nucleus, and these electrons called free electrons. Current flowing through a wire. If a conducting wire is not connected to a cell, its free electrons move randomly in all directions in the space between the atom. When we connect the end of the wire, the two terminal of the cell, electric force acts on the electron. Being negatively charged, they start moving from the negative terminal to the positive terminal of the cell. An electric current is the flow of electrons through a conductor. the electrons move from the negative terminal to the positive terminal of the cell, or the lower potential to the higher potential of the cell. Due to the flow of these electrons, current starts to flow through the wire. This motion of electrons is irregular, but there is a definite non-zero value to their average velocity. An electric current is the flow of electrons through a conductor. Quantitatively, current I is defined as the charge passing through a conductor in unit time. If charge Q is flowing through cross-section of a conductor in time t, then current I is equals to Q upon T. The unit of charge in SI unit is Coulomb, that is C, and current is in ampere, A. A charge of 1 electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 Coulomb. Ampere. 1 ampere current is said to flow in a conductor if 1 Coulomb charge flow through it every second. That is 1 ampere is equals to 1 Coulomb divided by 1 second. Very small value of current are expressed in the following unit. 1 milliampere is equals to 10 raised to minus 3 ampere, and 1 microampere is equals to 10 raised to minus 6 ampere. The French mathematician and scientist Ampere conducted a number of experiments on electricity. Today we can measure the current flowing in a conductor only because of his work. The unit of current is called ampere in recognition of his great work. Now example, a current of 0.4 ampere flows through a conductor for 5 minutes. How much charge would have passed through the conductor? Now here given I is equals to 0.4 ampere and time is given 5 minutes. Now convert these 5 minutes into second. So 5 into 60, that means 300 seconds. Our formula is that I is equals to Q upon T. Now rearranging this formula, Q is equals to I into T. That is equals to 0.4 ampere into 300 seconds. Now the answer will become 120 coulombs. Therefore, charge passing through the conductor is equals to 120 coulombs.